Hey, what's up everybody? It's Pop Anime Comics here from PopAnimeComics.com and the Pop Anime Comics Lounge podcast, and my Instagram is Pop Anime Comics. And for those who follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm a big comic book and a big Pop Funko collector, so I figured it's time that I showed off my Pop Funko collection, went through the highs, the low prices, the estimated price, a little bit of history on that Pop Funko, what's going on with that, who is that Pop Funko that I'm going to be doing in this episode, as well as trends surrounding it and why it's priced the way it's priced. But now, before I go into this episode, I do want to remind everybody that I do intend to keep my promise, and I did make a promise when I started all these videos that there'd be no affiliate links unless you, the fans / viewers, benefited. And I happen to have one for FunkoShop.com. And the way it works is that if you click the link down below, it's in the description. There's a code underneath it. Copy paste that code. Click the link. It'll bring you right to FunkoShop.com, and they are the people who make Funkos, and they sell them. They got a lot of cool exclusives. They're always stocking up on their site to get new Pop Funkos. And so if you do that, it's going to bring you right to their site. Then at checkout, if you put in the code, since you used my link, brought you right there, you'll get 10% off your complete order. And it's a win-win for everybody because it's a great way how to support this channel. You get 10% off building your collection, but you got to do both of them in that order in order for it to work. So feel free to use it. It's my gift to you. And now we're going to dive into this episode's Pop Funko. And we're going to be talking about a cool Pop Funko here. Alana. We spoke about Alana in the last episode, the original Alana. But this is a specialty series. So to give a little history on the specialty series, because I haven't done one in these videos yet, specialty series are for comic shops and other type of toy shops and other cooler, non-big shops to get a certain exclusive that's known as a specialty series. And it has something different, and it's meant for kind of the mom and pop stores, if you will, that can't go out and buy an exclusive like Hot Topic or GameStop or Amazon, but want something. And so Funko has a deal, and this kind of brings and solves that problem that certain comic shops that are big, but not ultra big, can get Pop Funkos, or stores that sell a lot of Pop Funkos can have an exclusive to hand out to their customers and get it. So that's what specialty series are. And they're only at certain shops, but they won't be at a place like Hot Topic, GameStop, Target, or any of the big, I guess, box stores, if you will, type thing, or any company that has its own exclusive currently out there that they go and they might have bought. So that's the specialty series and a quick history on that. So this one's different than Alana carrying a gun. So in the original Alana, as you can see in the corner of my video, that's the original Alana, she's holding a gun. This one, she's holding Hazel. And so this is Bait with baby Hazel. And for those who are unfamiliar with Saga, Alana and Marco wind up having a child, and they are from two separate races that are going to war, and they have a kid, and Hazel is that breed between the two of them, and they're being pursued and hunted down to kind of rein in, I guess, their troops. Maybe they want them both dead. It's sort of unclear who wants what, because different people want different things who are trying to capture them. But ultimately, they're trying to silence and make sure that Hazel doesn't survive, because she is a threat to some degree to the war and this concept that's going on. And they're trying to escape as a family. And obviously, Hazel grows up throughout the entire series, and the series is ongoing. So that's just to give a little back history on it. But this is really the first Hazel appearance in Pop Funkos as far as Saga is concerned. It's right in this one. So that's kind of cool to know. It's not that intricate. I mean, you don't really know it's Hazel. I mean, it's a little baby. It's not anything major here. But it's still pretty cool, the fact that this is the first appearance of Hazel in a Pop Funko format, I should say. So now, let's talk about pricing. So the low is $7. The high is about $10. And its estimated value is $9. And I think part of the reason is that even though it is a specialty series, I think Saga, to some degree, does have a limited audience on who wants it, who's following the comic, why they want it. It's kind of very niche at this moment. And I think that's part of it. I also think that it's kind of a pain to find this one. And I think that, but if you find it, they're not really selling. And this thing came out supposedly in March, April of 2018. And I just found mine legitly 4 weeks ago. So the fact that I found it almost 6 months after the fact, I think just shows how well they're selling out. So I don't think they're really moving. And I think that really hurts the price. I also think the fact that it is still new also hurts the price, and why it's so low is because nobody really is looking at this Pop Funko, and we're also the end of the year time with Pop Funkos tends to be when a lot of cool ones come out. Pretty much from July to New York Comic Con is the big Pop Funkos come out. Those two time frames and in between are really when all these Pop Funkos come out, and stuff like this kind of gets pushed off to the side a little bit. And so I think that also doesn't help it, because it really just, the supply for it is over the demand, which means that the price is going to decrease, and that's basic economics. I also think that Saga is also on a hiatus. And so Saga's on a year hiatus. We're about 7 months into that hiatus. It's coming back in 2019. The art's going to be different. The last arc ended in a very weird way. A lot of stuff's going on. It's sort of getting a little stale, and so they took a year off. The art's going to look very different, and that also doesn't help because there's no buzz for it. And that's something that I think also doesn't help it, and why the price is so low. And why I think even the low side of the price, and I think even the high price, I just think that the new side of it, I think all the same reasons apply. And because the high and the low isn't that far of a spread. It's not like we're talking about like a $6 to like $50 spread. I think that the same rationale applies even for the high and what it sells for in the last 30 days, which is about $10. So I think that also applies. And I think it's estimated at about $9 in this realm because it is new. It is sort of an average. It does have that specialty sticker on it, which helps it a lot because it actually is very limited where you can find this. So this is definitely meant more local comic shop oriented. It's not meant for a Hot Topic. It's not meant for a GameStop because you won't find them in there. That's the deal with the specialty series. And there's only a few of them. There's legitimately, I think, 30 or 35 at this point that this video is being released. So there's not a lot of specialty series Pop Funkos out there. So they are in a unique classification. And I think that's something also that really helps to retain its value. And I think in many ways it's an asset that this Pop Funko has, where it's part of a unique group that doesn't get that many Pop Funkos, and that definitely supports local business. So this Pop Funko is definitely local business oriented, and that's not to say that your local Hot Topic isn't local business either, because it is, but it's also part of a corporation. This Pop Funko really is distancing itself from corporations and is meant to support local businesses. I think that's something to keep in mind when you're purchasing anything from a specialty series, and I think that going forward, once these things move out of specialty series and they move out of stores and they're gone, I think that especially if Saga comes back and Saga comes back strong, I have a feeling that this one in particular, along with a few other exclusives, but more likely this one than others, is going to go up in value. And I think that at the end of the day, and I believe this, I believe that this is a $15 to $20 Pop Funko in the next 2 years, and it really is contingent on the fact that how well Saga comes back. If it's an entry point, how many people say, oh man, I've been waiting for this, and they're really stoked for when Arc 10 appears. It also depends on how the art is. It also depends on how all these characters have evolved and are going to evolve. Because Hazel is only a child for a few issues in reality, and she spends most of the comic probably as an adolescent. And that's where it sort of ends with this. And so I think that's what really is this one's contingent on to some degree, is that where is Saga going? What is happening? Because this is somewhat of a throwback to it. But I would definitely, in the next 2 years, I'm very comfortable saying that this is a $15 to $20 pop easily. And considering that it's so low at the moment, and that its low value is 7 and its high is 10 and its estimated value is 9, I mean, easily if you could pick this thing up for the right price, like $5, or even picking up at store value, I think you're going to do just fine with it. The tricky thing with it is finding a local shop that still has it. And so that's something to keep in mind. And when I saw it, I was ecstatic that I got it because I knew that this thing is special. And I just got the sense right away. And if you've been collecting like me for a while, and I'm doing these videos for the sole purpose of education here, you know when a Pop Funko is going to go up and you know when a Pop Funko is going to go down. And sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong, but you get a sense. And whenever I get that sense, I just know that certain ones are going to just hit a home run. And I know certain ones are going to hit a double. And I know certain ones are going to be like a base. And I love using baseball analogies because they make sense with money when you're talking about value. And I think this is like a good double. Honestly, I really do. I think it's a safe one, and I could be wrong. So you could take my advice. You could fact check me. You could look at all the trends. You could look at everything that I just said in this video if you'd like to take my advice. It's just that. But definitely, if you're going to buy this and do your own research and figure that out. But I feel very comfortable. I shouldn't say without a doubt. I feel very comfortable that in the next 2 years, this is going to be a $15 to $20 Pop Funko easily. And that's me being conservative on this one. So that's all I have for this one. But I'm going to reiterate again. Feel free to use that link down below. Copy, paste the code, click the link, shop around for some Pop Funkos. And then at checkout, plug in that code and you will get 10% off your complete order. It's one of the best ways how to build your Pop Funko collection at a 10% discounted rate. So definitely use it. It's my gift to you. I get an affiliate commission out of it, and that helps to support what I do here and constantly talk about Pop Funkos, comic books, you name it on this channel. So great way how to support it, and you get a 10% discount off. And if you don't want your 10% discount, nobody's holding a gun to your head. But you can definitely support me in other ways. Follow me on Twitter at PopAnimeComics. Check out my website, PopAnimeComics.com. Check out the podcast, Pop Anime Comics Lounge Podcast. Lounge podcast, I should say. Just type in Pop Anime Comics Lounge. It's free. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Just Google it. You'll find it. Great interviews all the time. Going to be re-releasing end of December, early January. Got a lot of cool people that are on. Don't want to spoil anything. You're going to have to go find out just like everybody else. Instagram, as I stated before, for sneak previews of all videos I'm going to be doing about my Pop Funko collection and talking about this and what's in store is Pop Anime Comics. And anything that is Pop Anime Comics is mine. Unless I owe you money, and then I'm going to quietly walk away from you because you're probably a bill collector, and I just don't want to pay you because my money's going to this. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's always appreciated, and I cannot wait to talk to you and continue to provide education, information, insight, as well as entertainment in each of these episodes that I do. And hopefully I will see you in my next episode.